Hi, I'm Annika Johnson from Al Johnson's in Sister Bay. I hope you enjoy my new video series called Door County Girl. These are stories of my life, the people and places that I love, and of course how we all survive here in northern Wisconsin. You can come back as often as you like, but don't forget to subscribe to Al's YouTube channel. I'll be posting lots of really cool new videos. So let's go. Welcome to another episode of Door County Girl. Today I am with my two besties. This is Mindy Willett and this is Susie Arterberry.
Hi.
And we have a long relationship of our friendship. And we do have a couple other besties that aren't with us. But today we're in Door County at the Hotz Trail. And we're going to go for a little hike, and unfortunately our other friends are off in some exotic locations, but we like this exotic location.
Yeah,
so,
it's awesome.
Are you guys ready to hike?
You bet.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go, because it's going to be super beautiful out. So we just got a whole bunch of snow yesterday, finally, and it's been dry. It's been 36 degrees, almost 40 degrees. I'd have to wear rain jackets and rain boots, and today we finally have some snow.
Cool plant.
Okay, so Mindy kind of knows a little bit about the Hotz Trail, and I don't all know that much about the Hotz Trail, but this beautiful gate behind us probably was built by Ferdinand Hotz, and I used to come here all the time, and Mindy remembers, and Susie, I don't know if you remember, but there was a cabin over here, a little log cabin, and then there was like this big water pump. And we'd stop there, we'd all jump on there and we'd get a drink of water and we'd always hike here. It was beautiful, and now that it's gone. So tell us a little bit about that, because you know a little bit more about that.
Well, when I was little, my uncle built a cabin out here on Europe Bay. And then we would walk through the woods and go over to Europe Lake where it was warmer to go swimming. And it was beautiful because the cabin was so huge and amazing. You could still go in it and walk upstairs, and I thought the coolest part of the house was at the top. It had, like these really steep roofs, and at the top they had these cutouts of the walls, so like the air would flow. So
cool. Ingenious.
I think it was built like in the early 20s, wasn't it?
Okay.
Something like that. Anyway, I'm not an expert on the history, just the part that I know, and I always envisioned them because heard that it was built for his wife and their family.
Yeah, it was like a really romantic story.
Yeah.
I loved it.
But
it
somewhere
was a
along the line,
destination.
What did you hear about the romantic story? What is it?
Not much.
So
I just came out with your mom. This was the first place I went skiing.
Oh, my mom knows all the trails.
Yeah, we were here, and I just remember it was my very first time cross-country skiing, and I wiped out and like almost broke my tailbone, and I had to fake it like I was fine because she's such a trooper.
She's like, get up.
She's like,
quit, Susie. Get up. She doesn't call
California Sue.
She doesn't call Susie Susie. She calls her California Sue.
Yeah.
Get up, California Sue.
She's tough on me.
Don't you have some Swedish in you? Get up. Well, and talking about the cabin. I didn't know this, but I thought they tore it down, and I was bummed about that, but I heard that you said.
What I had heard, I was super bummed when the state became the owner of it, and then they determined that it wasn't viable to keep the beautiful cabin and the garage that was there, and they were going to tear it down, but I had heard that it got moved down to Little Sturgeon. I don't know if that's true or not, like I haven't checked it.
Maybe someone knows.
Yeah, so
I have seen pictures of a place down in the Little Sturgeon area that look identical, but it was expanded upon.
Okay, so it's actually.
It had a beautiful porch. It was all log, and it was multi-rooms, and it had a beautiful stairway, all stone, that went down to the lake.
So someone actually lives in it, right? Someone uses it.
Oh, they lived in it. Well, no, I was talking about what it used to be.
Oh, yeah.
And then they recreated it down in Little Sturgeon. If it's the same one. But do you remember when we used to skate out here? In the
Yes.
wintertime?
Oh
my God.
creepy because you could see
Yep.
all the way
It's over,
in the
like,
fish.
glass.
It's like
Yeah, you could see the fish
Creepy.
through the ice and
it was
everything.
so cool.
Well, I remember I used to come out here and there was no snow yet. So you had to come out here when it's cold.
Yep.
And then it got frozen over and it was all black and it was so cool because it was really thick.
Yeah.
And then all these guys were out there trying to ice fish, but we would all bring our ice skates and we would go all over we could go all the way around the lake along the shore. And I used to
Yeah.
take my dogs and they would
was
run in
a
the
good
woods and I
workout.
would run in the shore. But remember when those guys used to come out here with their motocross bikes with the spikes on their tires?
Oh my gosh, I was never around.
Oh yeah, that's
Never
you know,
I
know
do.
what you're talking about.
Carly
And,
T.
like,
Carlson's
Adam Greenwood.
Adam
Yes,
Greenwood.
yeah.
They would all come out here with their dirt bikes and they had these big
Yeah.
spikes on the tires, but they had a circle that they would just keep going around in.
I like when they put the lights under the ice.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then it
yeah.
freezes. That's awesome.
Yep, and you know, like a lot of the people that knew that it was safe and we could only use it for a short time.
Yeah.
Because then all of a sudden, once it snows, unless someone
Then all
takes
the-
the
yeah.
time to come out with a snow plow to plow a little circle, then it's no fun anymore. Then you might as well go to an ice skating rink because it's
Right.
like the whole lake was better. But I remember a
Go
story
on
that
and
Susie's
on.
gonna tell. Do you remember?
Yeah, that little point is coming up right here on the left. Where
Yeah,
we
so
saw
like
the
this-
naked people.
Yeah, so this little trail is awesome because it takes you to Europe Lake. And Europe Lake is a little small lake, like a bathtub. It is so warm, it's so nice. People get a little freaked out about it over by the boat launch side, which is on the west side.
Right.
Because if you get in it, it's kind of mucky.
Oh,
Yeah.
But if you go all the way across the lake along the Hotz Trail,
It's really
it is
sandy.
sandy,
Yeah,
it's
it's
beautiful,
so
there's no
warm.
rocks. We used to come here and catch mud puppies and crayfish. It was awesome. The kids didn't have to learn how to swim because it was so shallow and they could just like walk around and play all day. We could crawl up the bank and have a picnic. But I remember
Yeah.
Susie and I were here once.
It was like, what was it, 1983 probably.
80s.
Yeah, doing
Yeah.
our little Hotz Trail hike. And unbeknownst
Oh
to
my God.
us.
And we come around this corner and we're looking, it's like, we look, oh my God, those people are naked. And we knew them.
Yeah.
And so we were trying to spy at them without like,
We're not going to name names,
Yeah,
but
but
we know who they were.
we know them very well, yeah.
Yeah, there was a rowboat,
It was
and there were
hysterical.
two naked ladies
Yeah.
and a naked man,
And a man.
in the boat, and we're both like, "Oh my God!"
We laughed so hard, and you can't get it out of your head.
Yes,
so
you
like
can't
forever
unsee it.
now.
No, because you know, like when we hike on this trail, you get kind of hot, especially if it's in the summer. But there's a little campsite where you go right down by the water, and if no one's there, you can take a little dip. You could take a little dip everywhere along, but they were really skinny dipping, I'm sure.
It was funny.
And then the funny thing about it is one time I was talking to my friend Todd Dakes. I'll name his name because I
Yeah,
love him.
he's awesome.
Yeah, he's no longer with us and I miss him. He's
He
a
was
great guy.
good guy, yeah.
Yeah, but one time we were chatting about that because he has a little property on the lake and he goes, "Hey, I saw you guys out hiking," and he goes, I go, "Yeah, did you see the naked people on the lake?" He goes, "Well, I have a pair of binoculars." He goes, "I get a peep show, I get a free show." So he has
Oh
a
my
little piece of
God.
property there and he knows everything happening on the, he even saw Susie and I, but we were clothed.
Yeah, we always
We don't
wore
run around
clothes.
naked in the woods.
No, it's not our style.
That's not our shtick. Yeah, that was funny.
Thankfully, it's
Well, I used to take my
Not our
dogs
thing.
up here all the time and nobody cared if they were on a leash or anything like that.
Yeah, it's
When my
changed.
kids were little out here.
Yep.
I'd paddle out here with the little come along behind the bike, and the kids would be in their little seats with their books, and the dogs would be running alongside.
Oh,
No big
yeah.
deal, but
It was so peaceful
it
in
is.
here.
Now everybody's all like, "Get your dog on a leash, get your dog on a leash," and I get it sometimes, people. But
Yeah.
also when there's nobody around like today, I would have loved to have brought Jolene on the trail, but
Well, we'll say this. This
Yeah.
is usually a ski trail in the
It
wintertime.
is.
We
Yeah.
just had a dusting, a couple inches fall, so they haven't started skiing. Otherwise, we'd be hiking alongside of
Yeah,
the trail.
if there were groomed tracks right
Yeah.
here, we would definitely not be.
yeah,
just
because they
walking.
groom them.
Yeah.
They put so much effort, and they don't have a lot of volunteers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I get that, but I still think people walk on it.
Oh yeah,
They
Yeah.
shouldn't.
but it's disrespectful.
And if all you people think this is a tough trail, it is not.
No.
It's a nice little loop. It kind of loops around. You can go down, like if you go along the lake on one side, Europe Lake, then you kind of loops around, and then you can go down onto the beach,
Yep.
or
The
you can walk
perfect
through the woods
distance.
on the Europe Bay Trail right
Yeah.
there. So it's got a really nice short walk. So if little kids complain or you just want to get them hiking out for the first time, this is a perfect learning trail.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
For sure. Definitely.
Okay, so up here, the road splits, and that's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
So like I always take the left, and then when I take the left, I go all the way around, we loop back, and then we usually come around this way. So you can see on the map up here, the little trails. Show them.
Way up here.
Yep. And you could go all the way up to the point,
Here's
and I know that you
first
can,
split there, and we're gonna go up towards Europe Lake.
yeah.
Okay.
So we used to, when at my uncle's house, we'd walk down along the beach, and then we'd cut through. That was a shorter hike.
Yeah, this is a great trail.
It is beautiful.
You know, I used to
The
walk.
trees are so huge, and it suffered so much damage in the
I
windstorm.
know.
Gosh, I don't remember what year that was, but you couldn't even go on the north part of this trail because it was just huge trees
heard-
were down.
Didn't this used to be open and that was part of like Michigan or something? Like, isn't that how that worked?
I don't know that it ever was. I don't remember.
I heard, because that's sand.
Yeah, it's all
don't know.
just like sand dunes-ish.
Yeah, and the
But
sand
the
dunes are
trees
still
really-
there.
The trees are really.
You could
like,
still walk
mature,
along
so
the
don't-
bay. They still have the sand dunes because when we were here, I didn't come this one time because Bo, my son, would always say, Mom, I don't want you to come. Don't come. You know, so I'm like, okay, I don't want to go anyway. He went with Pam Gustafson and Pam Riley and the whole family.
Yeah.
And they went camping, but they always choose the one that's on the beach over there so they can go swimming.
Oh, that's the best one.
And Bo
Way over
wouldn't
there.
stop talking about it. He loved it so much. He thought it was the best thing ever. He's never been camping before. He just had the best time. And
Yeah, but it's like you're on a remote island when
Yeah,
you camp
yes.
on that side. You don't
Any of
see
the sites out
anything.
here.
No,
except
I mean,
ocean
he
or lake.
thought we were way deep in the woods, Mom, and there were like raccoons coming out at night trying to get our marshmallows
So
and stuff.
cute.
And,
Porcupines, they make the weirdest.
yeah, and I'm like,
screechy
guess
noise.
what?
Oh yeah, they do.
And I'm like,
Scary.
guess what? They're at our house too. You just aren't wait to see them. But I mean, it was really cool how he loved this campsite. So if you guys are
beautiful
interested in
here.
camping and you don't want to camp, like, I mean, you have to cart your stuff
you have
in.
to
So
cart your stuff, and
you can't be
But
wimpy.
it's nice. The nice
It's
thing
easy
is
'cause
that
it's
a good
flat.
intro to remote camping for families.
Yeah, so if you guys want to camp in here and you're wimpy, we'll carry it for you.
Yeah.
Susie
But it's
and
so
I will,
easy.
if Mindy's in Arizona, because she sometimes goes to Arizona, sometimes she flies away.
She's a
And
snowbird.
anyway, Susie and I
Partial
are here,
snowbird.
and we'll hike your stuff in for you for a
Yeah.
small fee.
My son comes out here and camps in the winter.
And
a
Mindy will
lot.
come and be your cook, because Mindy's an amazing cook. We just
Especially
have,
I think in
Outside.
previous episodes you referred to me as your meat-eating friend.
Oh yeah, Mindy, my meat-eating friend. That's right. You always say that. I think that's so funny.
You and Rob.
I know sometimes we're not supposed to talk about stuff that we talk, well, we're supposed to talk about stuff that us girly girls talk about on the walk. Well, of course we can't talk about that.
No, we
Because
can't.
we want to talk about John Nelson and we want to talk about Bill, and they're right there, so how can we? Yeah.
But we would say nice things, of course.
Yeah, so we're
Yeah.
out here hiking on the Hotz Trail, and all the cooks in the kitchen, they're off for 2 weeks because they're doing the bathrooms. So everybody's on vacation, but this is my vacation. I have 2 weeks in Door County to myself.
With us.
Yeah, with my friends.
Puzzle time and
Yeah, puzzle time, hiking
awesome.
time, first snow time. I love winter. I hate
I
when
do too. It's
I hate
my
it when it's
favorite.
warm. I just wish it would be winter longer. We used to get so much more snow when we were little.
Maybe this will be the year that changes. We'll get a lot.
Oh, God.
Here's our spot. That's where we saw naked
Yeah.
people.
So over here is
Yay.
Europe Lake. I don't know if you guys can see, but along this trail, yeah, see this is all Europe Lake over here. And there's a boat launch straight across that we can park at. And then you can go like get into the little, like we used to take a rubber raft. And then I'd take all the kids, put a life jacket on them, and we'd come all the way across the lake here. Because I got off work at 4, but there was daylight till 9.
Yeah, it's like a
So if
whole
you can
extra
come across
day.
the lake here, this is not owned by anybody but the park. So you're more than welcome to walk along the shore here and swim here.
It's
'Cause
really
my-
sandy.
Yeah, it's
really
sandy.
Nice space. You can
And the
just hang
sun, you
out.
get the last tail end of the sun. You get the, there goes
We
Bill.
lost them.
So you get the sunset here. So you
He
don't
fell in a
really,
tree well.
yeah, so this side is not mucky.
No.
And this
no
is
leeches.
This is a tiny lake. I mean, you can walk all the way around it in no time on the shore.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone owns the lake. So I think if you walked along the shore and just did the loop of the lake, that's even a really nice walk. I used to do it all the time. It's a nice little quiet winter getaway
I just
walk.
love the pine trees on this walk.
Yeah.
They're so beautiful. They're so big.
Yeah. Like, look at these big ones here. They've been here forever. And where are we coming up to where the cabin is? It's got to be coming up.
Yeah, a little bit farther up.
Okay, I
But
remember.
I just imagine, one of the things I used to like to imagine when I would walk out here is what it was like to come out here way back when it was horse-drawn carriages, and you'd come up here, they'd come up to Egg Harbor, the stage stop there,
Yep.
and then they'd get in the and they'd come up here, and I just imagine them coming through here, and it's like, wow, what would that have been like?
Would have been cool.
It's been awesome.
Mindy's a horse girl, so she had no problem riding her horse in here and
Yeah.
getting a little
Actually,
wagon and.
Actually, the master plan of Newport State Park, which this is part of, has recently adopted a plan that allows for a 5 to 8 mile horse trail, and we're working on developing that right
Oh,
now.
cool.
Oh my gosh, that would be awesome.
Just say thumbs up riders.
Yeah.
Well, then you have to get 2 more horses because Susie and I want to ride with you. I don't want to own a horse, but I like to
No.
ride horses.
I would like to borrow one.
Yeah, like
occasionally.
Julie and Mindy have horses, and it's so much work. I know it. I used to work at Carol's Corral, and I used to remember how hard it was to do all the chores that revolve around a horse. And
Well, that's why Mindy's so
And especially
strong.
in the wintertime here in Wisconsin, because there's nothing easy about having
no, especially when it's mud season. Ugh.
ice, frozen water.
Yeah, that's awful.
But this would be an amazing spot, but we're not allowed to ride out here.
Exactly.
That's going to be someplace else over by the main entrance.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to jump to another subject. Everybody's probably wondering, like,
We're coming up on the cabin area.
yeah, where did you come from? Like, tell Susie, where did you come from?
Where did I come from?
Like,
I
how
came
come we're
from
friends?
Oh yeah, we're friends because I lived in San Marino, California, which is right by Pasadena, and I wanted to get out of California and go to college. I had to rebel against my parents' wishes, so I went to the University of Utah, and Annika found me in a hallway. We became friends.
Yeah,
'cause I
you know,
was
it's so
crying
weird.
over some stupid boy.
I was an empath, and of course, I lived in a dorm, and I walked across to this other dorm, and I had to go visit my friends. I walk up the hallway, and there's this girl crying in the hallway. And so I'm like, do I talk to her, or do I just keep walking? I can't.
know.
So I
My
just kept
boyfriend was such a
walking. I'm like,
jerk.
well, whatever. She's bawling in the hallway, whatever. And so I keep walking. They're not home, my friends. I come back. There she is, still crying by this window. And I said, oh my God, are you okay? And she's like, no, I'm not okay. And like, blah, blah, blah. So then I was like,
Because
oh my God, oh my God.
jealous. He was
You
all
could be my
jealous, so-
friend.
Yeah, and you said, hang out with me. And so we
As a
did
matter
all
of fact,
this fun stuff. Oh
I
my
just
gosh.
want to put a shout out there that anyone who's in a lousy, abusive relationship, get out.
Get out.
Because that was her circumstance. And I came in, and I'll tell you what, when I first met her, she was really quiet and meek and shy. And her boyfriend wouldn't let her hang out with anyone but me. But I'm like, what? So then eventually you guys were gone and we became friends, and I told Susie, why don't you come up to Door County and work at my dad's restaurant? You would love it up there.
Oh yeah, so I came up here and it was May of 1983, and that is the best thing I ever did.
Yep.
Best thing. I love it here so much. I never went back,
Oh yeah.
and I never want to go back.
You got to come this way because you don't have a mic on.
Boathouse is down there.
How poor Mindy doesn't have a mic on. Okay, tell.
So anyway, so this is where the house used to be, and it looked out over the lake. There was a little path that went down to the water, and I remember the remnants of a boathouse and a little tiny wooden dock there, and yeah, and then the little garage was over there where that big tree has
Oh, yeah,
just fallen
yeah.
down.
Oh
Yep.
my gosh.
But
This
yeah,
would be a
it was
cool
beautiful.
spot to
I mean, you
live.
can't
Place
imagine
for a
that there
house.
was a 2-story house right here that was.
Are those stairs right there?
I wonder if we could find them.
Well, let's find out.
Yeah.
I don't know that it has stairs anymore
I'll
though.
investigate. I have really good boots on.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is definitely, well, this probably was open for a while too. You know, this is.
It almost looks warm right there in that spot. Ooh, I love this bark.
So yeah, this is where you can come down and take a little dip.
Yeah.
They probably had a small dock here.
All right, pull her plunge. Come on.
Yeah. Woo, woo. And as you can see, that the boat launch is exactly straight across from us. It's a small little area. And people put their little boats in there, and there are some rental cabins, rental houses over here, but most of the people who live on the lake have a private home.
Not very good ice
And-
skating today, though.
Yeah, I hate it when I come out here and everybody's got their jet skis though, when it's quiet. Yeah, but I wish it was more like a non-motor lake, but whatever. Everybody has their thing. Yep.
Much more brave than me. I don't go on the ice. That's too
Yeah, when wrap it up. Okay, so Mindy came up here when she was a small kid too. Just quickly tell them how you got to Door County. 'cause
Okay,
you're-
so my grandparents, my mom's parents, are from up here. They were born and raised up here. Larson and Anderson are their names and maiden names. And so then we started coming up here always to visit them because they built a place in Bailey's Harbor. They actually had a log cabin that had been moved by the fishermen from Gills Rock down to Bailey's Harbor. It's a really cool place.
when zoning wasn't really around. Yeah.
And so then my cousins lived 2 doors down from Annika, and then I met Annika, I think we were probably 5
Well,
or
because
6.
everybody, we used to dump a load of sand on the beach. And whenever there was a load of sand on the beach, all the kids in the neighborhood would come over.
Yep.
So the Hartzells were our neighbors, Susie,
my
Dane,
cousins.
and Kelly.
Yep.
And we'd all be playing at the beach. And then you were there. And then we were like, hey, I like you, you like me. We're playing out, yeah.
And so then I would come up, and then when I came up, and my parents bought an old farm to be back up here for the summers. And then I'd come up in the fall, and you would bring me to school, and it was the funniest thing ever with sister-based school.
This is
She was in
I'm
fourth
bringing
grade,
her
I
for
was in
show and
third grade.
tell. This is my friend. I'm show and telling. Mindy.
a blast.
This is
But
her.
then
She
when
lives
I
in the
moved
big
up permanently,
city.
Then I got a pony, and we all worked at Carol's Corral together.
Yep.
Learned all about horses. My sister had her big
Yep.
horse. I had my little pony, and we'd go riding
Yep.
with our friend Ruth. We
Yeah,
all had
yeah.
little ponies
Ruth-
and stuff.
Ruth Hollister,
back and
yeah.
forth between Fish Creek and Sister Bay. It was a
Yeah,
blast.
it was.
Yeah.
Too bad you didn't go to school here when you were little. I didn't get to meet you sooner. I know.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, this was our little hike we're going to keep going, but we can only have a little bit of time to talk because now we got to talk about all of you out there. But anyways, yeah, so we're going to go probably get something a bite to eat at Blue Bear after this, by the way. So,
We'll be doing part 2.
oh yeah, and John and Bill are going to join us. Why don't you go grab a little snack at Blue Bear on the way through? And that's a new restaurant where the Viking restaurant used to be. I heard it's fabulous. I haven't been there yet. So, and they're open on the weekends, I think. The Friday nights they have some kind of Asian bowls that are whatever they are. I know. You can even get them to go. Yeah. Well, anyways, we're going to go over to the other side right now because we forgot about that, didn't we?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, we
gotta
were
get out of this
yapping.
wind, Get more off of the wind.
Don't forget to like and to subscribe at the bottom of the page. And thanks for joining us for another episode of Door County Girl with my friend Mindy and my friend Susie.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The 3 fleet cars.
Come and visit us at the Hotz Trail. Here we go. I'll follow you.
Here, I'll go.
We're off to another trail. Thanks for watching Door County Girl. Don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you next time.